ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। हरि ओम, salutations to all. So we are seeing here in the 11th chapter, Bhagwan shows the Vishwaroop to Arjun. One is the regular form, regular in the sense that Vishwaroop is anyway not regular, but one we can say is a Saumya Rupa or something which is pleasing or something which is creating a sense of wonder. And then Bhagwan showed him the Ugra Rupa, terrible form, where he is seeing death and destruction. And the last verse that we saw was 30th verse, where it was even said that Bhagwan is enjoying that also. Lelihiyase grasamana samantat, that devouring the world from all sides, Bhagwan, as though with his flaming mouths, Lokan samagran vadanai jvaladbhihi, through his flaming mouths, he is devouring the worlds and as though he is licking in enjoyment. Tejobhirapurya jagat samagram, and his fierce race as though fill this entire universe. Bhasastavogra pratapanti Vishnu, and with the Ugra Rupa is the brightness, brilliance, heat is burning the whole world. So this terrible form, Bhagwan is showing him the result of the war that is going to be fought. In that process, Arjun is seeing, the war is only one event. In the cosmos, continuously so many events are happening which are, the destruction is happening continuously. So when Arjun sees this terrible form, he is seeing the destruction aspect of creation continuously going on, and now he will see the war aspect also. So he is very scared now. So in the 31st shloka he says, Akhyahi me ko bhavan ugra rupaha namostu te devavara prasida vijñātumicchāmi bhavantamadhyam nahi prajanami tava pravrittim. So he says, Akhyahi me, please tell me, ko bhavan ugra rupaha, you are in this ugra rupa, who are you? Suddenly Arjun doesn't recognize that, Krishna is my cousin, I have seen him grow, we have grown together. He is suddenly seeing the destructive aspect of Bhagavan, and he is scared. And he says, Bhavan, Ko, who are you in this terrible form? I am not able to recognize. Because he knows his cousin, his friend as what? Very loving, kind, sometimes mischievous. But this is some different aspect. And then he also realizes ki, my God, I was thinking of him as only my cousin and friend and I behaved with him somehow, but he is something else only. So he says, Ko Bhavan Ugra Rupa, Akhyahime, please tell me, in such fierce form you are, who are you? Namostute Devavara Prasida. He can only bow down, he can only prostrate, saying, I surrender, I salute. You are the supreme amongst all gods, Devavara. Please be gracious, please tell me, who are you? Why? Vijnatum ichhami bhavantam. I want to know what is your primal form, primeval form. So I want to know who are you, what is your primeval form, meaning the source of all creation. So he knows form of Krishna, but he wants to know what is the source, the main source from where even Krishna manifests, from where the creation manifests, and which is appearing in this Ugra Rupa. So he wants to know Akhyahime. So Vijnatum ichhami bhavantam. I want to know. And what? Adyam. So please tell me, who are you? And I am not able to understand your purpose. Nahi prajanami tava pravrittim. So I don't know who you are. Why have you taken this terrific form? What is the purpose? I don't know. Please tell me. I want to know. And I want to know the source. Not just your form as Krishna or not your form as this Vishwa, not your form in the Virat Roop, Vishwaroop here, but what is your source? Who are you in true nature? Source means actually that. What is your true nature? I want to know that. So, though there is one part of it where he is terrified seeing the destructive aspects, there is still jignasa in him. Vijnatum ichhami. I want to know. Who are you? And so, this is the sincere seeking. Arjun right now is not asking, should I fight the war, should I not fight the war? He is asking, I want to know you, I want to know the source. The mumukshutvam is actually this, to come to know who am I truly and to have that intense longing to know who am I. In simpler words, what is my source, from where have I come? Because this body is taken now, temporarily, for this one life. Before this body, who was I? After this body, what will be my state? Am I only a jiva going from one body to another? What is my source? If I am a jiva also, from where did the jiva start? So, if we take this line independent also, Vijnatum ichhami bhavantam adyam. I want to know what is the source. If you see in some ways, science also is doing the same, having the same quest or not. One wants to know the ultimate source. Unified field theory and all that, singularity, unified field theory. One wants to know the ultimate source from where this multiplicity, this diversity has risen. What is that ultimate source? Great masters in our country, great rishis, they have also attempted that way, tried and done their research in the world outside. Then they understood the source can't be found like that. Then they turned within. They came to discover. Same way quantum physics has also started now, few decades ago. So physics also from external has started turning internal. So the point is, in this context of Vishwarupa, Arjuna is asking this, that please tell me, who are you? What is your purpose? Why have you taken this Ugra Rupa? I am not able to comprehend at all. And especially the destructive aspect, I can't understand. So when he asks this question, see, Bhagavan was revealing the form, Ugra Rupa, and he was showing continuously to Arjun all the destructive aspects, including the war, one part he was showing. Now, when Arjuna asked the question, Bhagavan stopped revealing. Now he has to answer. So he answers. Now somebody will ask, when he is answering, did he come back to normal Krishna form, or the Vishwarup continues? And Arjun got the answer. So, see, Arjun is can, so there are different ways to understand this. Bhagavan does not have to answer only through his mouth. He can answer intuitively, he is Antaryami, so Arjun can know. Second, Bhagavan is anyway showing him. So through that itself, Bhagavan will be answering. And another possibility is Bhagavan is there, Arjun is there, Vishwarup is there. This whole scenario of Kurukshetra also is in Vishwarup. This Arjun is in between two armies, that is also in the Vishwarup. So if Bhagavan is answering to Arjun, that also will be seen in the Vishwarup. What exactly happened, Bhagavan only knows. Even various commentators, if you read them, they can only speculate. Because it is impossible to comprehend. With the physical with the physical eyes itself, one can't see. Bhagavan gave Arjun the Divya Chakshu. In that Divya Chakshu also, when Arjun is seeing the Vishwarup, now he is terrified, looking at the death and destruction. And he has asked the questions. So Bhagavan sincerely answers. He doesn't say that you keep watching now, you will get all your answers later. No, he answers. And exact what questions he has asked, Bhagavan answers those. Now these two verses which come, they are some of the most powerful verses of the Gita. And in this, Bhagavan reveals something that he doesn't tell everywhere so often. So let us see. Shri Bhagavan Kalosmi lokakshayakrit pravriddhaha lokan samahartumiha pravrittaha hritepi tvam na bhavishyanti sarve yeva sthita pratyanikeshu yodhaha. So Bhagavan says, because he asked, who are you? Ko Bhavan Ugra Rupa, who are you? So Bhagavan says, Kalosmi, I am Kala. Kala here does not mean only time. Kala here means death. He has become death. What is your purpose? Bhagavan says, my purpose is to destroy the worlds. Lokakshayakrit pravriddhaha. To destroy the worlds, mighty worlds. Pravrittaha. I am engaged in destroying the mighty worlds. Lokan samahartum iha pravrittaha. So same thing. I am that mighty Lokakshayakrit pravriddhaha kalaha asmi. That Lokakshayakrit pravriddhaha is the adjective to kala. And I am the world destroying time. So first line answers the question, who are you? Second line answers, what is your purpose? Lokan samahartum iha pravrittaha. I am engaged in destroying worlds. Why does he say that? Because that is one aspect. The destruction part, if it is not there, the construction part cannot happen. The seed has to die, then the sapling is born. The sapling has to die, then that shrub or the plant is there. Then that has to die, then the tree is there. Same way, childhood dies, teenage dies, youth dies, middle age dies, old age. It goes on. If this does not happen, there will be stagnation, and that is death. That will destroy the whole thing anyways. So life itself goes on because of death. If life stops and stagnates also, there will be death only. Because if that eternally somebody is a child, pathetic it is. That whole growth of that person has stopped. Stagnation has happened, potential has died. So this sequence of life where continuous change is happening, which is death, So Bhagavan says here that I am that world destroying time who is engaged in the destruction of many, many worlds, not few people, few beings, or some worlds, many, many worlds, including many, many, what you call cosmoses, creations, whatever you call it. Lokan, plural it is. Lokan samahartumiha pravrittaha. So now one may think, one side we say God is very compassionate and kind and all merciful. And on the other side, Bhagavan himself is saying that I am the world destroying time and I am engaged in destroying many, many worlds. See, these two appear to be contradictory. But we have to know that it is not like that. The fact is what? That something which is either it has served its purpose or it has become old, dilapidated, it has to be brought down. Suppose a building is there let us say 120-year-old building is there, completely dilapidated, foundation is also not proper, inside also the beams and all that, everything has rusted. Now what will happen? One has to pull that down. If one says that no, how can we destroy, all merciful, all compassionate we should be, 120 years we have done plastering and this and that, whatever possible. Now it is not possible. You have to pull it down. That pulling down is an act of compassion only. One should not think that compassion is only in terms of being goody-goody, nice, loving, caring. A mother sometimes gets angry out of compassion only because the child has to get disciplined. If the child is not listening through any other method and the child is going to hurt and harm itself, the mother may act with certain anger or a force and appear to be rude also. But that is all compassion. The intent is important. Again, I'm saying this is not to justify any violence or do anything to hurt and say this is done out of compassion. Dharma has to be applied, no doubt. Kindness, compassion, all are, to be expressed. And when nothing else is working and one sees ki there is no other thing but one has to take some hard decisions, then one has to do. There is no choice in that. Then only the new building can be put up or the child can be prevented from hurting or harming itself. So, one aspect of Bhagwan is creator, sustainer. We see compassion more easily in that. But the destroyer aspect of Bhagwan also is actually an act of compassion. No, Swamiji, old building and all that we can understand, but sometimes old bodies also we can understand, old people we can understand, but young children, small children, stillborn children, why are they being, their bodies are not old, they are young and they are strong, and why are they dying? Even with all the medical progress, etc., no doubt we appreciate all that progress, but still sometimes the death just happens. They have no idea why the child dies. Other day I was speaking to a clinical psychologist. She told me that. She said, Swamiji, still there is no guarantee sometimes. In the hospital, sometimes the child just dies. There is no apparent cause. Died. And sometimes the child, she gave an example, the one child was born, was weighing only some 300 grams. And they were doing so many things to save that child, etc. And there was another child who was a healthy child. And this healthy child died, and this child who was only 300 grams survived, went on to live. And why did that healthy child die? No answer, no clue only why did he die. He was very healthy, there was no ailment, nothing. There was some term she used, I forgot that term. Medical term is there. It just dies. Now one may say, why? So where is compassion in all this? See, the point is, again, in our mind we have this, that everybody should become old and only die. If that jiva has come with only that much karma to exhaust that karma, the jiva, as soon as that karma is over, will drop the body, which is good for the jiva. Is it not an act of compassion? Sometimes one goes to a city to settle down there. One lives some 40, 50, 70 years in that one city. Somebody goes to a city, they have only a 2-hour job. They'll finish that 2 hours job, get out of the city, because they came only for that much. Somebody else came there to settle down for a long time, so settled. Same way, we come here for certain karmic consequences, we come, and then life goes on. Some, as soon as they finish, so if you see in Mahabharata, I've given this example earlier also. Mahabharata, if you see Ganga Devi, she's the mother, and she takes 7 children of hers. As soon as they are born, she puts them in the Ganga. They all die. Shantanu can't bear it, saying, what is this now? Because she has kept a condition that he will never question her no matter what she does. He agreed. He agreed, and so she married him. Now 7 children, and there is no son who will take the throne after Shantanu, and 7 children are gone one by one, and all sons were born. All of them she put in the water. Now the 8th son is born. Shantanu can't deal with it. He stops and says, why are you doing this? So she says, now that's it. Now I have to go. Now you asked me the question, but I will ensure that this son of yours, I will take and train him well, and then I will send him back and bring him back to you after 14 years. Now, if you see from the standpoint of Shantanu, the 7 children who are drowned, it is tragedy. From anybody else's standpoint, it is tragedy, and how hard-hearted this woman can be, and the mother, what a terrible mother she is. But she is a Devi, first of all. And she knows that these are 8 Vasus who have been cursed to come on the earth. So she does this. And the karma of that 8th Vasu, who finally is Bhishma, karma of Shantanu, what he is going to, when he is going to raise that objection, all synchronizes. That is the job of Bhagavan. So he has become time for those 7 who drowned there. But from their standpoint, if you look, they got liberated from the curse. There, that karma phala got exhausted. They are liberated. They are back to their divine form as Vasus. This 8th one had to go through so much on the earth because that was his karma phala that he had to go through. And so Bhagavan engages in the destruction as per laws of karma. And of course, Bhagavan's will finally it is where one knows that he is the Ishvara, he is the karma phala data. So he will do things for the well-being of all the jivas. He doesn't have any partiality, this jiva is favorite to me and this is not. And here that's why he says, Lokan samahartumiha pravritta. I am engaged in destroying the worlds. Continuously destruction is happening. And so these 2 lines, if you remember, this is what Oppenheimer speaks. He utters this. When that first nuclear blast happens, and he says, I am reminded of this verse in the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says to Arjun that now I have become the world devouring time engaged in the destruction of the worlds. And so he finds here this. So I am here in Chinmay Vibhuti. There is this internet issue is there sometimes because the internet is weak here. We can't help it. The Wi-Fi and this internet is that much only. Let me try if something else works. Now we see if this works. If this is better, then we continue on this. So the point is, Bhagwan does the karma. Bhagwan is the karma phala data. And as the jiva deserves the karma phala, Bhagwan gives the karma phala. Now, you and I see from one small standpoint. Bhagwan doesn't have partiality at all. He has set the laws of karma in motion. He is the force behind it. And that's why when he says Lokan Samaha Tumiha Pravritta, he is going on. Continuous destruction is going on as per karmas. For the jivas. Otherwise, the Srishti mein it is quite a bit the whatever the interplanetary forces and the destruction, etc. All that happens, Bhagwan's will, it keeps on happening. So with Robert Oppenheimer, he sees the first, they're testing this nuclear bomb, first time in America. And there, when he sees this bright, massive light, he sees, there he says this. I'm just going to share that video.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
In the dead silence of the morning, at 5:29:45 Mountain War time, the Jornada del Muerto was bathed in an intense flash of a light that man had only seen from the stars.
Not be the same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." I suppose we all thought that one way or another.
That was Robert Oppenheimer. Not from the movie, actual one, where he says this. He quotes, and just imagine. So that he saw one nuclear blast. What he saw, one nuclear blast, that energy, that power that one nuclear blast released, reminded him of this. What Arjuna is seeing is infinitely more powerful. Continuously, whole destruction of the worlds he is seeing. So Arjuna is, one is, Bhagavan has answered that what is my purpose? Why am I here in this form? Who am I? He has answered. Then he tells him specifically his general purpose, he has said. And then the second thing he says specifically to Arjuna is Rite pitvam na bhavishyanti sarve. Even without you, Rite pitvam. Meaning Arjun, even without you, na bhavishyanti sarve. None of these people will exist. Meaning all his opponents. Because Arjun was feeling guilty that, oh, I will kill them and how can I kill my grandfather and my teacher and my relatives, my family members. Bhagavan clearly says, without you also they will not survive. Why? That he will answer in the next shloka. Ye avasthita pratyanikeshu yodhaha. All these people who have assembled here in this war, none of these warriors will survive even without you. Meaning what? Meaning you are only an instrument. That he says in the next shloka. That who is actually destroying? Again, please remember, one should not misuse this word, this verse, and say that Bhagavan has predetermined, so I am going to kill this person. Bhagavan is the killer, I am not the killer, I am only an instrument, he is the doer. Don't misuse this verse. Then don't justify any form of violence and say that Bhagavan is doing it through me. Then Bhagavan only through the police will catch you and put you behind the bars. And Bhagavan only will suffer through you also. So don't misuse the shloka. And the shloka is to tell Arjun of, in the mighty scheme of the entire creation, our contribution is very small. But we think of it in a very big way. We take a huge amount of doership pressure and we feel without us this will not happen, work will not happen. Let us see how the work will progress if I don't contribute, or if how will my family take care of itself. See, there is functional concern, there is love, so one feels, one identifies, that is one aspect. But deep down, if one thinks that I am the one because of which everything is happening, that doership is a big illusion. Because that does not, that's actually a false notion only that we have. It does not express the truth. Because the Lord is the one who is the Karta. Now, if the internet comes and goes, that is Bhagavan's will, because that's maximum I can do is this much only. There are only two. One is Wi-Fi, one is this hotspot. अब वो दोनों में से कुछ break हो रहा है तो I can't help it because both connections are like this only here. So the point is, Bhagavan is the Karta. We have to be honestly available in a dharmic way to do our duty. That's all we have to focus on. More of it we will see in this shloka, it will come, the next shloka it will come. But in this particular one, 32nd one, he says very clearly, Rite pitvam na bhavishyanti sarve. Meaning even without you, because Arjuna wanted to run away. He didn't want to be in the forest. He didn't want to be in the war. He wanted to go away to the forest. And in his mind, he must be thinking that if I go to the forest, then war may not happen. All these people may be saved. But Bhagavan says very clearly, even without you, they will not survive. Why? Because I have already destroyed them, because their karma is such. They will get the karma phala. Now somebody asks a hypothetical question that if actually Arjun had gone to forest, what would have happened? Karma of Arjun and Bhishma is locked. Karma of all Abhimanyu, Arjun, Yudhishthir, Duryodhan, each of them, the karma is locked in such a way that Arjun will not be able to go to the forest, first and foremost. This thought will come in his mind that I want to quit, and he gives his whole argument in the first chapter why he doesn't want to fight. That thought also is as per karma only. And making Arjun the nimitta, Bhagwan gave the whole knowledge of the Gita, which you and I are benefiting from even today. So it is karma of Arjun, karma of all the people. It is locked. The karma phala will come. So there is no way that Arjun can take a resort to his emotions and just go to the forest. The whole Gita has been given, and finally Arjun was told, you do what you want to do. I have told you what has to be told. Now you decide. And Arjun says, I will do what you have said, and he fights the war. So apparently it will look like Arjun has done. Arjun was deluded. Bhagwan gave him the knowledge. Bhagwan gave him the choice. Arjun made the choice not to go to the forest, and he fought the war, and he won the war, and he established the glory of dharma, and then they did many Ashwamedha Yajnas afterwards also. All that, when we see from individual standpoint, it looks as though the individual is doing it all. But actually from the totality standpoint, it is only the Supreme Lord who is doing everything. And so even if somebody says, if Arjun had gone to the forest, what would have happened? The karma of these other people would be such that they will land up in forest and he will kill them. Did that not happen? In the 13th year, they all landed up there, no? Arjun defeated all of them. So if the karma is such that he has to be the medium through which Bhishma will be killed, he will only be the medium, nobody else. Here Bhagwan is telling him that Rite Pitvam na bhavanti sarve is only to make him realize that you are not the karta. Though you are actually doing the karma, you are not the real karta. This is not to say that somebody else would have gone and killed Bhishma. Killing will be done by Arjun only, because that's the locking of karma that has happened. But Arjun need not carry his guilt and all that burden on him, because he is only an instrument. And that instrument bhav is there in all actually. Bhishma also is an instrument only. Duryodhana also is an instrument. All are instrument from the highest standpoint. But we can't live from that highest standpoint till we have this strong ego, and that's why surrender, when somebody lives in absolute surrender where completely ego has gone, then only that person lives in that state of complete predetermination. Bhagwan is the karta. Otherwise, we keep doing our kartavya and keep surrendering our doership. That's what this shloka is. Rite pitvam na bhav. So that is what this shloka is, where the doership of ours we have to drop. Karma we cannot drop, we should not drop. Whatever we have to do, we have to do. What is our kartavya has to be done. What should not be done, what is adharma, we should avoid. Because we live at Purusharth level, choice level. We experience choice. And dharmic choice has to be made with the attitude that I will do my best and I ensure that my doership is dropped. I am only a nimitta. Through me, Bhagwan is a karta. So karma I still have to do. Like the dentist will use the tools, the whatever you call the cleaning and then the drilling and all that is being done by the tool. But the tool is in the hands of the dentist. So who is the real doer? The real doer is the dentist. The tool, if it arrogates to itself, I am the doer, then there is a confusion there. Same way, we are tools. Krishna Bhagavan has the flute. So that flute is inert. It has 7 holes, and the breath of Bhagavan is what creates the music. Now, if the flute starts creating its own music, same way, we are the tool, we are the flute in the hands of Krishna Bhagavan. 7 holes are there in this body. This sense, this space itself has 7. Otherwise, 9 holes. So, this body is a tool. Bhagavan is the Karta. If I remember that continuously, I am only a nimitta, I will do what is dharma, what is my duty, what is righteous, I will do that. If somebody says that Bhagavan is the Karta, so I can do anything and get away, no. If Bhagavan is the Karta, he is guiding us from within, he guides us from outside also to walk the path of dharma. Bhagavan will never guide a person to walk the path of adharma. Ego can tell us to walk the path of adharma. So if this is understood very clearly, there is no question of misinterpreting this shloka at all. That if I am not the Karta, Bhagavan is the Karta, then somebody can do anything and say, I didn't do, Bhagavan only did. No. We have to do what is to be done as a kartavya, what should not be done, which is adharmic, we should not do. But no doership for both. For what I have done and for what I have not done, for both there is no doership. If I did not engage in something adharmic, Bhagavan's kripa. If I did something which was dharmic, which was good, Bhagavan did it. I am only a nimitta. So the ego does not come. Karta bhav does not arise. And you know, if karta bhav does not arise, bhokta bhav will not arise. If karta bhav is there, only bhokta bhav comes. Then I get bound in the cycle of karma. Because then to enjoy that result, I have to take a body, form. And in those forms, if I come in human form, then again this buddhi is there. Then again there is a sense of I am the doer, karta bhav. And again new karmic bondages we create. So this is complete surrender of the karta bhav. So bhokta bhav also goes, which means cycle of birth and death will get eliminated. So anybody who understands this shloka very well will live in surrender, doing one's duty. Will not feel that I can do anything and become irresponsible. So here he says, Kalosmi loka kshayakrit pravriddha and rite pitvam na bhavishyanti sarve. Even without you, none of them will exist. So now what should he do? Should he stop acting because he is not the karta? If I am not the karta, why should I do anything? Let Bhagavan only do everything. So should I resort to laziness? Bhagavan says, Tasmat, next shloka, 33rd one. Tasmat tvamuttishta yasho labhasva jitva shatrun bhungshva rajyam samriddham mayaivaite nihata purvameva nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. Tasmat, hence. What is the conclusion? Hence, tasmat, therefore, tvam uttishta, you get up, meaning you do your duty. This philosophy is not a fatalistic philosophy which says everything anyway is fated, fate will do it, prarabdha it is, or Bhagavan is the karta, what can I do? I don't have to do anything. Why are you lying down like that? What can I do? Bhagavan's will it is I am to lie down like this. That is all our laziness. We, at our level, when we have strong ego, we live at the level of choice. So Bhagavan says, Tasmat tvam uttishta. Hence, Arjun, you rise. From the state of inactivity, you rise because Arjuna has thrown away his bow and arrow. He says, I will not fight. And that's why Bhagavan says, even with you, even without you, they will not survive. So what are you thinking that they will live and you will not be able to kill, you will not kill them? in the second chapter, 9th verse, he said that. Nayotsaiti Govindam Uktva Tushnim Babhuva. I will not fight, and he became silent. So, Bhagwan says, Tasmat Pramuttishta, hence Arjun, you get up. Yasho Labhasva, you attain fame. How? Jitva Shatrun, you win the enemies. So Bhagwan already showed to him also, now he told him also that you are going to win the war. Jitva Shatrun. Bhungshva Rajyam Samriddham, you enjoy the land, kingdom. Just give me a minute. One more thing we have tried. Kept the door open. Let us see if more range it can catch. So, Jitva Shatrun Bhungshva Rajyam Samriddham. You win over the enemies and you enjoy the kingdom and become prosperous. Samriddham Rajyam. Any king will want only these two, that there should be no enemies, there should be prosperity, there should be Nyaya and Dharma in the country. So, Bhagavan says that is what is going to happen. You get up, attain glory, win over the enemies, enjoy the kingdom and prosperity. Why? Maya eva nihata purvam eva. I have already killed them beforehand. Already killed beforehand, meaning he is the Karta. Earlier when he says without you also they will not survive. How? That the answer is here. Because Bhagavan says I already killed them. I am only the Karta. See, somebody is already dead. You have to go only and poke. You have not killed them. Swamiji, but it is not like that. Arjun actually shot arrows to Bhishma and they pierced. It's not that Bhishma is already dead and Arjun's arrows are simply going and hitting a dead body. The point here is the doership is resting in whom? Even if Arjun is shooting the arrows, it is Bhagwan who is the Karma Phala Data, who has brought these two together. And finally it is Arjun who is able to kill Bhishma by the Ichha of Bhishma only. Bhishma only said, you put Shikhandi in front of you and fight, I will not resist. I will not fight back. So, even if Arjuna shot the arrows, the fact is, it is Bhagwan's will. This has to happen like this. Bhagwan is the Karta in both of them. In Bhishma also and in Arjun also. Bhagwan only is the Karta. It's not that only in Arjun Bhagwan is the Karta and in Bhishma is not the Karta. Bhagwan is the Karta in both. And so, here that's why he says, Maya eva nihata purvam eva. I have killed all of them beforehand. So Arjun, you don't take up your sense of doership that you are going to kill. How can you enjoy the world, the kingdom stained by the blood of your family? What will people say? All that you drop, because I have already killed them. Based on law of karma, I have given them so many choices. If you go into the depth of this, Bhagwan gave so many choices that war need not happen. But they all chose, by their own karma, they all finally chose to be and do what they wanted to do, and it is that karma which will bring them their karma phala, and Bhagwan is the karma phala data, and he is only the karta also in them actually. Through the big picture, when we see, the director only has planted, no? The villain also and the comedian also, the hero, the heroine, the side characters, everybody is planted in the movie by whom? The director only. It looks on the screen that they are making choices, but can they really make choices? They don't make any choices. If they say one dialogue extra out of their own will, the director will immediately say cut. It will not come. So, free will at our level Yes, there is a certain free will we have, but that free will should not lead us to ego. I did it, I did it. When a person is very lazy, lethargic, tamasic, then to that person it is said, come on, do something, achieve, leave your legacy, leave a mark on this world, let people know who you are, what is your glory, what is your potential. All that one will be told. So from an inert, lazy, lethargic, purposeless state, one comes to something which is success, achievement, glory, fame, power, position. When one comes to that, one will experience some amount of stress, anxiety, tension, worries, all that. Challenges will come, insecurity. And even if not, none of these are there also, one will feel how limited it is. One still doesn't feel fulfilled. So then it is said, do the same thing, dedicating it to Bhagwan. So karma yoga attitude. Serve the Lord through whatever karmas you do. Don't do it for I, me and mine. Do it for a higher purpose. So from tamas one has come to rajas. From rajas now one goes to sattva. When one comes to sattva guna, mind has become peaceful, serene, pure. Then it is said, you are not even the karta. Bhagwan only is the karta. So you drop your doership. When that person drops the doership, one realizes, Arey, my essential nature is Sachidanand. The whole thing was illusory. It was not real. One has woken up to one's true nature. So that is the scheme of evolution. Now, in this, very important it is to know that if I am not in a sattvic mood throughout, meaning if I am not predominantly sattvic, then I can't live this attitude of non-doership. I may slip into tamas. So when we live at the level of choice, we should make the best choice and know that with all the knowledge that we have, satsang that we get, whatever we have learned, we must make the right choice, dharmic choice, live doing our duties, purushartha, and then whatever is destined will happen. Say that is Bhagwan's will, and having done the work also, we say, Bhagwan, I surrender the results to you at one level. Whatever results come, I will accept. And while doing the action, as we go deeper, we say, I am not even the karta, I am only a nimitta. You are the karta. So karta bhav, we have to surrender. Any work before we start, we can say, Bhagwan, I am only a nimitta, you are the karta. Then we start the work. That is sattva guna. Then I am practicing this surrender. So when he says, Maya ivaite nihata purvameva, I have already killed them beforehand, then what should you do? Arjun, nimitta matram bhava, just be an instrument, meaning be available, be an instrument. How will I know what is the will of Bhagwan? Through a pure mind, the will of Bhagwan will be revealed. If I put my ego aside, I will know what is to be done, which is the right thing to be done, where I will not even have my sense of doership. If I look at it through my attachment and aversion, through my ego, and I will look at it in that colored way, then I will not know what is to be done. I will be carried away by my ego. But if I say that I am only a nimitta, I am not the karta, what is the right thing to be done? Oh Lord, you reveal to me. In this situation, what should I do? Then we will know what is the truth. That is the will of the Lord. Swamiji, it can be sometimes the trick of my mind also. Possible. So observe. That's why alertness is required. And also consistently, if that same answer comes, which is the right thing to do, I keep asking, and answer comes the same answer. And also that the fact that I can ask myself, is there any attachment because of which this answer is coming? Am I protecting anything? Am I biased with something? Am I colored, prejudiced? Am I doing this out of aversion or attachment? If I ask that questions, then I will know. If I'm honest to myself, I will know whether this is an egoistic decision or decision born out of surrender. Especially when one is confused, one should do that. Ask Bhagwan. Surrender the doership, saying, I am not the Karta, I am only a Nimitta. Whatever you want, may it happen through me. That is surrender. Now, this is again, as I said, predetermination level, which is a very high level. From the highest standpoint, if we actually see, nothing is free will. Zero. Free will is zero. It's a big illusion, is free will. But from which standpoint? Highest standpoint. Who will experience the highest standpoint? One who has surrendered the ego can know that. How to come to that level? Keep doing the duty with the dropping of doership. So if I keep doing that, the mind will come into a state of non-doership through the day. Then one will actually see the whole thing is a leela happening, is a game. Bhagwan is only doing everything. Just as he is doing through us, he is doing through everybody. One will suddenly start realizing all of us are nimitta, not only I. From the attitude that I am doing this and he is doing that to me and she is doing that to me and I am doing this to him, from that ego level of attitude and transactions and relationship, we will come to that standpoint where everything is the will of Bhagwan. Whatever each one is doing is Bhagwan's will. In that, also one will know clearly what is to be done and what is not to be done. Dharma is the parameter. If Bhagwan's will only is that Duryodhan will do what he has to do, Bhagwan's will only is there in Arjun also that he has to fight the war, right? So one can't say that everything can get justified by saying it is Bhagwan's will. Bhagwan is acting through the villain in the, the director is planting a villain in the movie, then the director will plant a hero also, and both of them they will clash, whatever be the reason. The hero has planted and working, the director has planted both of them and working through both. Hero can't say that, director is the doer, why should I do anything? Hero can't say the director is only making the villain do, so why should I fight? No, that is your role, that is your duty, you have to do that. So if I understand this very clearly, I will not take up doership, I will not blame others. Which is why the great masters, they live in this attitude of non-doership. Any success comes, they say Bhagwan's kripa. Any failure comes, Bhagwan's kripa. As far as results are concerned. While doing karma also, they feel I am only a nimitta. Let me make the best choice as guided by the will of the Lord. And let me do the karma. No doership at all. One becomes empty. Which is what we try to do through the day in different ways. So before the class, when we chant the invocation, it's not just some mechanical shlokas we have to chant. One is invoking Bhagwan and becoming empty, saying, Bhagwan, you alone are the Karta. You alone will speak. You alone will help us to do the sadhana of reflection. I am not the Karta, I am not the Bhokta. You alone are. So one becomes empty. Then whatever has to flow is flowing. That same bhav we continue through the day in all our actions. Dharma is the guiding principle for us. And that ego should not come that I am dharmic. I am not, I am in nimitta of Bhagwan. Bhagwan is inspiring the buddhi to do dharmic actions. Buddhi is inspiring the body, body doing the dharmic actions. Who am I in this? I am a nimitta of Bhagwan. Yes. Are you the body? If I say I am the body, if I say I am the jiva, then yes, I am the nimitta of Bhagwan. If I say I am not, then I am one with Bhagwan. So either way, there is beautiful spiritual growth. So when we understand more and more about this verse, our doership will drop. Our self-importance, unnecessary we have arrogated to ourselves will drop. Blaming the world and accusing them, because of you I am suffering, because of this person I am going through this trouble. None of it. It is the will of Bhagwan as well as some karma of mine that I am going through this. And this process at this moment, what is the best that can be done? May I do that with the bhav of a nimitta. Done. Life will be so much lighter. Burden on the mind is not there. Heaviest burden is doership and enjoyership. It goes, one lives. One will actually see non-doership makes a person so relaxed. And one will watch, things are just happening. Earlier also they were happening only, but one was taking it all very personally and with ego. So one was not able to have that broader perspective. Accommodativeness will increase. Actions will happen more effortlessly. Stress and tension will reduce. One is more happy. One is able to take results more equanimously. So many beautiful things happen when this philosophy we apply properly. And that's why this comes in the 11th chapter. Bhagavan does not say directly to Arjun in the first 2-3 chapters that, Arjun, see this, all Pandavas, Kauravas, everybody is entering in my mouth and you are going to win the war. So you better do your duty. He could have shown the Vishwarupa right in the beginning. No? Why he showed now? And why he showed even in Vishwarupa many other things first and then he's showing the consequence of the war. Because all that is a preparation so that Arjun does not get the wrong message and he doesn't misunderstand this philosophy. Ours is not a fatalistic philosophy. It doesn't make us passive, make us resign from our Purushartha. It actually makes us do our duties more effectively, more efficiently, but tells us drop your doership, drop your insistence on result. Karmanyavadhikaraste helps us to drop insistence on the result. This shloka here helps us to drop doership of action. Bhokta bhav gone there. Karta bhav gone here. And with karta bhav gone, bhokta bhav also goes actually. That is more easier to practice than this. Karmanyavadhikaraste is more easier to practice because there I am not insisting on results, I am doing action, dedicating to Bhagwan. But still I is there. Only my motive has become purer. Here I is not there. Nimitta matram bhava. You are only an instrument, you are not the doer. So to drop doership is more subtler. And that can happen out of knowledge, out of understanding, out of devotion. When I get the complete picture that the fact is I am not the karta, that knowledge liberates us. The tool thinks that it is doing. The tool can't do anything. It is the doctor who is doing. The flute can't do anything. It is the player who is playing the music. Same way, you and I can't do anything actually. It is Bhagwan's will that this is all functioning and it is happening through this. Why unnecessary take doership? The train is already going. Now, if I am holding the luggage on my head thinking I am carrying the luggage, not the train, that is stupidity, no? That's what we are doing. So, Bhagavan says here, Nimitta matram bhava savya sachin. Savya sachin means one who can shoot with the left hand. Savya, left hand. Meaning Arjun is ambidextrous. Meaning you are an ambidextrous person, Arjun, yet drop your doership. Be efficient in your karma. Uttishtha, Savya Sachin, all are pointing to dynamism. But dynamism without doership. That is the crux of Karma Yoga. Dynamism without doership. If that happens, Karma Yoga is applied in full. If I only have acceptance of result as it comes, I have applied Karma Yoga in one part. But if I drop doership, then Karma Yogi. So I'll end with this mad. Who is a Karma Yogi? Karma Yogi is a mad person. Why mad? Because everybody works for result. This Karma Yogi is not working for result. He is a mad fellow. Everybody wants to promote themselves. Karma Yogi says, I am not the Karta, I am only an instrument. Mad fellow. World will think like that only. He's a mad guy. How will you progress? How will you achieve anything? If you are saying, I'm not the karta, I'm not, insisting in the result, how will you get anything? See, mad means what? Mad means motivated by a higher ideal, accepting results as they come, dissolving doership. These are 3 points of Karma Yoga. If anybody follows these three, that is mad philosophy. From the world standpoint, this person is mad, but actually that's not true. That person alone is actually knowing the way to act so that karma doesn't bind anymore. And not that the person will not achieve. What Bhagavan says here, Jitva Shatrum Bhungshwarajyam Samruddham. You will win over your enemies, you will attain prosperity also, and you will enjoy it also. If the doership is dropped, maximum potential will manifest. If ego is dropped. If Bhokta Bhav is dropped, insistence on result is dropped, performance will become excellent. So it is that today a lot of people are saying that, no? Manu Bhakar, she said that I read the Gita and I practice this, that, focus on the process, don't be anxious for the result. Mahendra Singh Dhoni also said in one of the interviews that be process oriented. Result is a byproduct of the process. So people are applying it, they are seeing success also today. And we don't have the faith in our philosophy. That is our problem. Once we have the faith, we apply it, we will achieve. And we will also be relaxed at the same time. What the world says, na, that success, if one gets, then the stress is the price to pay for success. In regular circumstances, yes, stress is the price for success. But if one follows the philosophy of the Gita, one will be successful and happy, no stress. Why? Because all stress comes from insistence, resistance, ego. Drop all these. That's all Gita tells us. Drop all this which holds you back. You will attain great success with happiness, with relaxation. So that's where we will stop today. Beautiful shloka. One can reflect more and more about this. These two shlokas are very, very powerful. All right. What MAD stands for? Motivated by higher ideal. Highest ideal here is Bhagwan. Somebody says my country, culture, company, family, anything greater than small I. Highest is Bhagwan. So motivated by a higher ideal, accepting results as they come. Prasada Buddhi. So motivated by higher ideal is what we say Yajnathat Karmano Nyatra. Prasada Buddhi is this one, what the Lord says, Labha Labhau Jaya Jayo. Sukha Dukhe Same Kritva Labha Labhau Jaya Jayo. It is that. And dropping the doership is this. Nimitta Matam Bhava Savya Sachin. Motivated by higher ideal, accepting results as they come, dissolving doership. Drop the doership, dissolve doership. That is mad philosophy. Okay, so we thank all our Yajmans. The Mukhya Yajmans for all the sessions, Parag Wagh, Kalpana Morparia ji, Hemant Kumar Ruya ji, Bharat Khanna ji, Achyutan Nair ji, and Nandita Parekh, our Geeta Aarti Ajman for all sessions, Vipul Dalal ji, Nalini ji, Surbhi ji, Rajan ji, Sapna ji, Dipti ji, Jolly ji, Ajay ji, Kirit ji, Garima ji, Jayashri ji, Jyotsna ji, Hem ji, Vijaya Bhatia ji, Vinu ji, Tarana ji, Mukta ji, and Majnu ji. Our Dainik Yajman for today, Meera Sharma ji, Mala Lentin ji, Monica Malkani ji, and Shantanu Dablish ji. And our Aarti Yajman for today is Srijata Basu ji, Sudha Bindu Agarwal ji. So we invoke Bhagwan's grace, blessings of Gurudev on all the Yajmans, their families, and everyone present here. May Bhagwan bless us with all the three aspects of Karma Yoga. May we be motivated by a higher ideal. May we learn to accept results as they come. May we dissolve our doership. May we live in Nimitta Bhav and ultimately come to realize our oneness with Bhagwan. Om Tat Sat.
ॐ जय भगवती जय भगवती मैया प्रकाशिनी हरा सर्वज्ञानविनाशिनी विद्याब्रह्मपरा ॐ जय भगवती निश्चलभक्तिविधायिनी निर्मलमलहारिणी शरणरहस्यप्रदायिनी कविविसुमकारी ॐ जय भगवती रागद्वेषविदारिणि भवभयमोहितारिणि परमानन्दप्रदा ॐ जय भगवती आसुरभावविनाशिनी नाशितमर्जनी कैलिसत्युपदायिनी हरिरसिका सजनी ॐ जय भगवती समताचार सिखावनी मणिमुखी वाणी सकल शास्त्र के स्वामिनी श्रुतियों की रानी ओम भगवती दया सुधा बरसावनी मातु कृपा की जननी हरि दान करे अपनों करी ओम जय सीता मैया की जय।
बोलिए श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. Light has gone here. If anybody has any questions, you reserve them. We will take it up in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Let's come back. Hari Om everyone.